Yep, we're in a new place again. It's cold as shit up here. What's up, guys? So it's Wednesday, and what does that mean when it's Wednesday? It means we're making our picks for this week. There's only 4 weeks left.
Went fast.
And I think you're only still 5 games behind me.
Damn.
So you have to start picking different than me, which isn't gonna happen this week. Because this week some of the game, he can't pick against me just to pick against me, or you can. How about this? The final week, if I'm only up by 3, regardless, we have to pick against each other the whole week, and just see how it ends. Right. So we'll do that. If we're if come week 17, me and him are a game apart. What we're gonna do is, it don't matter. I'm gonna read out the game, and the first one to say their pick, the opposite person has to pick the opposite game.
All right.
And then eventually we'll have a winner. But we're gonna get into our picks. But I just want to touch base on a few things, a few NFL things, because that's what we do on this episode. It is a Dolphin channel, but on the picks we like to talk around the NFL. First things first, Mike McCarthy got fired from the Packers. The dude, I understand why he got fired, but he took them to the playoffs. He won them a Super Bowl. But if you look at it, I keep hearing and seeing this comparison. He had Aaron Rodgers, and he's 4-7-1. Adam Gase has Ryan Tannehill, and he's 6-6. And a lot of people are like, well, look who the Dolphins played. The Packers lost to the Cardinals. So it's maybe that's why he got fired, is even with Aaron Rodgers he couldn't win. But now they have Joe Philbin as their head coach.
Well, they were saying that Rodgers wasn't.
He wanted him out too.
Yeah, he wasn't. They were butting heads.
Yeah, I'll put the meme up where Aaron Rodgers is talking to the kicker, and he said, "Miss it, so we're free." So apparently he didn't like Aaron Rodgers didn't like Mike McCarthy's
Well, he wasn't listening
joke.
to him. You know what I mean? He was doing his own thing down the field.
Well, what do you think of the fact that Joe Philbin's their head coach now? He used to be the Dolphins head coach, and then the GM said the reason why they fired Mike McCarthy and they're bringing Joe Philbin is because they want to give Joe Philbin a chance to show that he is the next head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Then another thing I want to touch on before we get to our picks is friggin' Colt McCoy breaks his fibula. Or it was tibia. I think it was one of them. And
he was walking on it.
Was he?
Yeah.
Freaking him and Alex Smith. So now Mark Sanchez is their quarterback, who they literally signed
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. You can't make this stuff
And
up.
then you know what's so funny about it? They're all mocking on him already.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks. He's only been practicing for 2 weeks, man. Give the guy a break.
Right. You know? So we're gonna get to our picks, and we're gonna start this one off with tomorrow's game, which for us is Thursday's game, because again we're recording this on a Tuesday. It's Jaguars at Titans. Me and my dad are both going to take the Titans. My reasoning is because the Jaguars offense is hot garbage. Yeah. Even with Blake Bortles in there, it was hot garbage, and Kessler isn't any better. Their defense is good, and their defense is the reason they beat the Colts 6-0. But next we got the Colts, who all Dolphin fans want the Colts to keep on losing. Head into Houston, face the Texans. Again, we're both picking the Texans. For me, I'm picking the Texans because the Colts don't have a defense. I don't like the Colts. And the Texans have
better team.
They have J.J. Watt. They have Jadeveon Clowney. They have Hopkins, Demaryius Thomas, and Watson have actually been playing really well together. So we're both taking the Texans.
That's why I picked the Texans.
Next, we have the Atlanta Falcons going to Green Bay, about who we just talked about. Joe Philbin's debut as the Green Bay Packers head coach.
Let's go Falcons.
Yeah. He's taking the Falcons. He thinks that... Well, why are you taking the Falcons?
Because the way that team is right now.
It's just falling apart.
Correct. You got. Right, I'm sorry. You got a quarterback that's running the show on the field on his own. Not listen to the coach. That's where that coach is gone. So we'll see what happens.
I'm picking the Packers only because they're in Lambeau. And the Packers play different in Lambeau, but I do agree with what he's saying. And I wouldn't be surprised if I lost this pick, which he needs, because he's 5 games behind.
When they played the Cards, Packers last week, where were they?
I think they were home. I think they were home.
Lambeau, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what's what? Let's go Falcons.
So then next we have the New York Giants going to Washington to face the Redskins. We're now with Mark Sanchez, like I said in the beginning of this video. Mark Sanchez as their starting quarterback. Me and my dad are both taking the Giants just because Mark Sanchez is their starting quarterback. Their defense is good. I like the Redskins defense. I love the Redskins defensive line, and I love how they built that defensive line.
Well, they're going to give Eli a hard time.
Yeah. So don't be surprised if it's
Redskins
like
turn around and it's a tie game like last week.
Like if it's like if I see the Giants winning like 13-10. Then next we have the Jets going to Buffalo to face the Bills. He's taking the Jets.
Jets.
Because he likes the defense. Right? Is what you told me? The defense.
And I think they'll play better.
And I'm taking the Bills because I don't like the Jets' offense. Then we have the Carolina Panthers who are on a 4-game losing streak. Yeesh. 4 games they're losing. They're going to Cleveland to face the Browns. I at one point thought the Browns could start putting something together, but then they proved me wrong and shit the bed last week. We're both taking the Panthers because they're just a better team. Yeah. They got to get off this skid. They still have a chance to make the playoffs. They're 6-6, just like the Dolphins and just like pretty much most of the teams in the NFL. But with Cam Newton, they have a better chance.
Isn't that crazy? Like some of these teams are like really.
There's a lot of 6-6 teams.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
And if so, like you said, like if teams lose and you do what you got to do.
Take care of your business. We got the Baltimore Ravens going to Kansas City to face the Chiefs without Kareem Hunt. He cleared waivers. No one wants Kareem Hunt because there was another incident that popped up that he got into another fight in Atlantic City at the beginning of this year. So he might get a year suspension from the NFL, which is crazy because this is his 2nd year. He's young. He's just dumb.
He's a hothead.
So we're both taking the Chiefs just because they're home. The Ravens are good, but again, the Ravens, like, you could see that they had some problems. RG3 came in at one point last week, and it's the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Hill, Travis Kelce. Next, we got the Saints going to Tampa to face the Bucs. We're both taking the Saints. We were very surprised that the Bucs beat the Panthers last week, but we don't think that they'll do it to the Saints. We were wrong last week because we picked the Cowboys to lose to the Saints.
That's crazy.
But
well, the Saints ain't gonna let that happen.
Not twice in a row. Then we got the Bengals going to LA to face the Chargers. We're both taking the Chargers. The Bengals are done.
He's hurt too.
Dolan's on IR. AJ Green is now going to IR. He hurt his ankle or something.
God, these guys are going down like flies.
Bengals are done. They're done. They're 5-7. They're 2 games out of the playoff hunt.
So we don't have to worry about them.
They're done because there's no way that they're going to be winning with the amount of talent they're losing on offense. So next we got the Denver Broncos going to San Francisco to face the 49ers. Now here's the thing that I didn't think of. When I was making my videos breaking down who the Dolphins need to worry about, it was the Colts and the Ravens. We got to worry about the Broncos.
They're coming right behind us.
They have a very easy schedule. They faced the Chargers once. Other than that, they have a lot of winnable games. And if they win, if we lose next week against the Vikings and the Broncos win out, they're in the playoffs. They got that spot, which means you got the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Chargers making the playoffs. It's not unlikely. But me and my dad are both taking the Broncos. 49ers are they have the #1 pick right now, I think. We have the Eagles, Philly going to Dallas to face the Cowboys. We're both taking the Cowboys. The Eagles are banged up. Their secondary is just torched with injuries.
Carlton Wentz, he's throwing like shit.
And the Cowboys defense is playing better. They're playing really well. We got the Detroit Lions going to Arizona to face the Cardinals. We're both taking the Lions. We both took the Packers last week, so watch the Cardinals prove us wrong again. It's not unlikely, but if you're going against the spread, the Lions are giving 2.5. I think that
2.5.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
I think the Lions.
Yes.
Lions got this one.
Yes.
Then we got the Steelers going to Oakland to face the Raiders. The Raiders are a 2-10 team.
Yeah.
The Steelers lost to the Chargers by
a field goal.
By nothing. So we're taking the Steelers. Just because the Raiders are done.
Yeah, the Raiders. I was going to say, you ain't going to see no surprise out of it.
No. Then you got the Rams going to Chicago to face Bears. We're both taking the Rams. Chicago's playing really well. Chicago's 8-4.
That's a high-power team.
The Rams are just high power on offense, and their defense isn't elite.
No.
but they're good.
Correct.
Where they'll win you games.
Correct.
So we're taking the Rams in that one. And then finally, Monday night, you got the Vikings going to Seattle to face the Seahawks. This is actually one of a few Monday night games that's actually good. I talked about this in another video, that a lot of times the Monday night games suck, and we look forward to the Sunday night games. This one's actually pretty good.
And I think Minnesota might take that.
Yeah. We're both picking the Vikings in this one.
Or we're picking the Vikings, but be surprised that Seattle.
They're home.
My God! Hey, watch what's gonna happen. We need Seattle to whip Minnesota's ass.
And then all of a sudden we go up there, and all of a sudden they're licking their wounds.
Yeah, and they'll beat the shit out of us.
Right?
Like
I don't see.
We're gonna get our asses kicked this weekend.
Then finally we got the Dolphins home for the Patriots. Now, I had somebody ask me, you guys pick the Dolphins every week. Do you think that's homerism? And I was like, of course it is. With all these other games, we're obviously trying to make the most unbiased picks we can and break down stats. But then when it comes to our game, we always want the Dolphins to win, so always pick it for the Dolphins.
But and no one in our head.
This one was hard. This one, I was like, I'm going to pick the Patriots. I honestly thought I was going to pick the Patriots. But the Dolphins play the Patriots different at home.
Especially.
Last year, we had Jay Cutler. We were going nowhere. Everyone thought we sucked. Monday night, here comes the Patriots. They're going to whip their ass. And we won. So we're both picking the Fins for next week. Don't be surprised if we don't pick the Fins next week, depending on how this game goes, though. So we're both picking the Fins for that exact reason, is that you don't know with this Dolphin team, especially when they're home, and especially in their throwbacks, which they're wearing again, and especially against the Patriots. They play completely different at home. So that is the video. Comment below. Let me know what you guys picked. Let me know what you think of our picks. Let me know if you think it's stupid that we pick the Dolphins every week, because it kind of is. I'm not gonna deny it. It kind of is dumb that every week we pick the Dolphins.
That's how it is. That's why I go to the bar to watch them.
Exactly. But comment below. Speaking of comments, we're going to get to your comment of the day. So it comes from Rampage, and he says, I was surprised by Brandon Bolden and Sonoris Perry, two young dudes that made the most of their short opportunities. We won, but... So if you remember, there was that nice 12-yard run, and it was Brandon Bolden, and Sonoris Perry was in there a few times. Yep. And so he said that, and then there was other guys who were asking me, why did that happen, and do you see them getting more carries? And I do, because it's getting towards the ass end of the season. And Frank Gore. Frank Gore's he's got
to take a rest.
But this dude he's a beast. 35, and he's still doing what he's doing. But I think the reason why you're starting to see Perry and Bolden and Ballage get more involved is to keep Gore fresh. Gore's going to run his ass off the first quarter and a little bit into the second quarter, just to pound it and get. Because if you notice, the two games that Ryan Tannehill back scores on the first drive both games. Yes. So we're going to bring him in. We're going to pound the rock. We're going to do our thing. And then as the game goes on, we want Gore to stay fresh for goal line situations, 3rd and 1s. So you put Bolden in, you put Drake in, you put Ballage in, you put Sonoris Perry in. They did pretty good. Yeah. So don't be surprised to see more Bolden and Perry and Ballage, especially Ballage. Ballage got to learn how to run in between the tackles. But other than that, that's the video. Follow me on Twitter. I always put my shit right here. It's always right here. There's my shit. I tweet out things all the time. I tweet out when there's press conferences, while we're watching the game, I'm tweeting. Sometimes he's talking to me about the game, and I'm tweeting at you guys. So I appreciate if you follow me.
He's tweeting a lot.
If you don't follow me, if you don't have a Twitter, that's cool. If you want to create one and follow me, be my guest, but no pressure. Go follow my second channel, The Bit Boys. Go check it out. Subscribe if you like what you see. A lot of you guys, yesterday I mailed out the wristbands, yesterday being Monday, so you guys should be getting them on Friday. Be sure, if you did get them, to take a picture with you wearing them, and I'll put it in this video. Not this one, but when you send it to me, I'll put it in the next video. So, yeah, so go over there, check it out, subscribe if you like what you see. Give this video a thumbs up because, hey man, we're still in it. We're still in the thick of it. There's a lot of teams that are out of it. A lot of teams. Bills, Jets,
they just
Raiders,
get
49ers.
Their heads out of their ass.
So we're right in the middle of it. It's one game at a time at this point. Let's take care of our business against the Patriots and get this win. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If you like what you see, if you like the content, if you like the Dolphins, if you like football and you like our opinion, subscribe. And like usual, stay classy. Fans up.